Hi, what's the difference between an Enneagram 3 and an Enneagram 4? Well, the Enneagram 3 believes that everything is up for discussion, but the Enneagram 4 doesn't believe in this. The Enneagram 4 has this strong gut judgment, this strong inner sense of what is right and what is wrong, and no discussion will change that. No, the Enneagram 4 is the true individualist type. It's in the sense that it doesn't believe in discussion. It doesn't believe in. I think on a lot of levels, I think the Enneagram Four is anti-compromise. I think the Enneagram Four really struggles with compromise because if you're right and if you trust your own judgment, how can you compromise your true ability? How can you live with yourself compromising on these things? I think that can be very hard for the Enneagram 4. So the Enneagram 4 is not a politician type. The Enneagram 4 is, on the other hand, an artist. The Enneagram 4 is definitely somebody with a strong sense of self, high intrapersonal intelligence, a high ability to judge your own desires and what can make you happy. And sadly, Enneagram 4 is also a high ability to judge when you're doing things that won't make you happy, when you're doing things that you know are against your own judgment, when you do things that you know will really get in the way of your happiness in the future. It can be, I think, very difficult for an Enneagram 4 to want things that you know are stupid or that you feel are silly, to deal with this inner judgment. I think the Enneagram 4s can have a lot of inner judgment because, to be honest, every one of us has contradictory sides in themselves. Some sides that want something, other sides that want another thing. And I don't know. What is the good way to deal with one of those things? What is the healthy thing for an Enneagram 4 to do in the light of all these things? Well, I think learn to manage your boundaries. Learn to, when other people challenge you and tell you what you could do to get out of your depression, to be happy, or to whatever. Learn to say to people, I know this for myself. Let me decide this for myself. Because I think an Enneagram 4 needs to develop a strong moral compass to survive in the world. They need to, because they would always perceive. I think this is an Enneagram 4 problem in some ways. They always tend to perceive other people's opinions as kind of threatening, in a sense that it can be like an attack on your personal identity and your personal space. And it, of course, is, objectively speaking, an attack on your personal space. I think definitely it's a good way to describe it. But here's the thing, like when Enneagram 3 types like myself believe things are up for discussion and we can have these open boundaries, I think the Enneagram 4, what can they say? Um, it's very hard for them to deal with when other people go into your personal space. And the space for an Enneagram 4 is a very interesting place because the space of an Enneagram 4 is so truly in line with themselves. They have a strong boundary and they have a strong moral compass. And if they would ever question themselves on this, they would get burnt fiercely for it because what would happen is their compass would go off and everything around them would fall apart. This is the difficulty for an Enneagram 4. Maintaining purity in yourself, maintaining your own natural sense of self, not getting lost in other people's bullshit. Now, the Enneagram 4 is a heart type, and this is the weird thing for being an individualist. How can you be an individualist while at the same time caring so much about other people? What is empathy like for an Enneagram 4? I think it comes down to so much in this. I think what it comes down to is wanting other people and wanting yourself to be happy and truly caring for other people, like feeling so strongly in yourself, not just your own identity, but other people's identities. I think this is the weird thing for an Enneagram 4, why they can also feel a little contradicted, self contradicted actually, because they can feel not only their own desire but the other people's desire, or what they know will objectively speaking make other people happy. But And then if they would act on that, they would threaten their own purity and their own happiness. So what can we do? What can an Enneagram 4 type do? I think learning to realize, well, your happiness has to be in balance with other people's happiness. You can't forsake your own happiness for other people. Making a sacrifice is a truly noble Enneagram 4 thing to do, but make a sacrifice for the right person, make a sacrifice for yourself as well. Um, Learn that with good karma should always come good rewards. And if you're not feeling rewarded, if you have really let yourself be vulnerable for another person, then that might be because it wasn't the good or the right thing to do, to be vulnerable to that specific person. Um, Sometimes I think we all think very strongly that we know what is right, but it's not always easy, and it's not always, especially it's very hard to know what's right for another person. We can know what's right for ourselves, but how can we ever know what's right for another person? That is the true difficulty we're all facing with. And I wanna thank you all for watching this video, and I hope to see you all in a future movie. Thank you for watching.